UMX has released the Waco biplane. This is a re-release actually. I think it used to be 2S capable. Now it's 2S or 3S capable. And as you can see, they've got two different color schemes. They have yellow and black, white and red. These are fully assembled in the box when you pull them out. They're brushless little airplanes. I believe they retail right around the average UMX airplane price, something like $150, $160, and they'll be linked in the description box below. Let me know which one you think is your favorite. Which one would you buy if you could only pick one?
I like the scarves.
That's honestly,
the details.
That's my favorite feature of these airplanes.
I love it.
I do too.
That's a good idea.
Now these are both safe equipped. There's nothing different between them other than the collars. And one of my favorite planes that UMX makes is the Pitts, and that's a biplane. So I'm really excited to see how this performs in the air. We're getting windier and windier the longer I talk. So let's put it in the air and see how it does.
How are you liking your new transmitter?
Yeah, okay. It's a good radio. The one thing I do like is the orange light that they have around the perimeter. I know that's just a visual thing, but I really like that. When it's charging, it's a different color, so it's a bit of a status light. I like it. It's bright inside. The other thing I like is the way they've done this housing around the switches. Anybody that's flown a RC radio ever knows these little switches get loose and they generally have a nut you can tighten around them. Now there's casing around that, so the nut is no longer exposed, and my curiosity is that will that get loose in time and not be able to get tightened, or will it just stay snug and tightened forever? I hope it's the latter of the two. One curiosity that I had was this lock. I was like, what is that? If you pull this over, this comes out and you can reposition that to not be in the way of your screen. It comes with a shorter stick also.
Is that for your lanyard?
That's for your lanyard, yep. So different options with it. It's just for that little thing. I kind of like it this way better because it's not blocking my screen, but I'm going to put the shorter one on when I get home because it's just blocking all my buttons the way it is. This is a 3S 300 milliamp recommended battery. Kind of seemed like in the instructions they're almost pushing hard for using a 2S, but we got some wind today, and it recommends 3S also. So this is really the only way to make it happen. If I flew on 2S, I don't think we could have much success. So let's see how it binds up. The beauty of UMX is ease of use. You pull it out of the box assembled and you bind it with the press of one button. I truly wish it's telling me I'm not charged, so right out of the box I'm going to have to update the firmware or something on this. Well, it's a beautiful plane, and I love that they reintroduced it into the world. Look at that. Oh, that's just pretty. Now that's our headwind right there, and it's a solid 7 or 8 miles an hour. So with safe on for just a minute to get a feel for the plane, see how she flies. I'll turn safe off and we'll see what roll rates and stuff like that is, see how much faster we're going, and that's almost no throttle. It's with the wind. That's how much wind we're dealing with today, but beggars can't be choosers. We have limited amounts of time once we have the product and the information to get a video recorded in today's best case scenario. So this is what we've got. So I imagine they probably sold a ton of these back when they originally had them.
Nice, you're like kiting it.
And I'm sure they'll sell a ton of these now. I like that they have 2 collars. I think that all companies with all planes should give us more options. Yes, we're totally kiting the Waco. Isn't it spelled Waco though? Wouldn't you,
or Waco?
By the English pronunciation, which is totally messed up anyway, wouldn't it be Waco? I've always struggled with that. It's Waco. When I hear a person say Waco, because that's what it is, it always just drives me crazy. Waco. But it's Waco. It's Waco.
Are you sure?
99%. It's a beautiful like fall day to fly this one too. Definitely just here's low throttle. I'm like 30% throttle, just having fun and safe, and here's like hands free out of the box.
Wow.
A little bit. You know, I mean that's no trimming. That's in a lot of wind. So just to give you an idea of where my confidence is on a little UMX airplane. And this is fun. Some people are gonna watch this and go, okay, it's not even moving, what's going on? No, I actually like flying in the wind. I think it's a fun challenge because it's a different way to fly. A lot of times because of video's sake and audio's sake, we try not to fly in wind for you guys because it's not as much fun to listen to. But personally, I enjoy flying in wind. It is a challenge. It gives you more, it's kind of like with driving RC cars. Isn't it fun to ramp them? Yes, it is. Even you might break something, it's more fun to ramp them. I think that adding that extra level of challenge with flying is fun. I might crash it doing these silly low, look at that, you know, like that's higher risk, but it's fun. Okay, so let's do some throttle up passes and then we'll fly a little higher and turn safe off and see what she can do. Little rudder in that turn. Full throttle. We'll do a full throttle into the wind, and I don't want to turn safe off because I don't know what my flight time will be on this. There's full throttle. Now we're going safe off right there. It does like to climb.
Ooh, that looked good. Wow, that was a fun little roll.
Yeah, roll rate's very nice on it. Very nice. Yeah, that's cool. Check the wing.
I feel like all this is missing is a girl on the wing.
Oh yeah, wing walker.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That would be really cool. How do you do that on such a small plane? Like a little army guy size.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like a Polly Pocket.
Yeah,
just hot glue Polly Pocket on the wing.
I think I need a little down trim. It just seems to want to climb. He still wants to climb, but climbing is better than nosing down, so I'll just fight it for this. It's windy too, so it's hard to tell if that's the plane or the wind.
Wow.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, this is a great little micro flyer. I mean, this being my maiden, it's pretty crazy. It's definitely not loving being upside down, but we're keeping it there. That's cool.
Nate?
Get it into a knife edge.
Will it snap?
Well, we'll try that after a knife edge. Knife edge is probably not going to happen.
It's pretty windy.
It's windy.
It's pushing it.
It's not a lot of rudder authority, so let's get into snap, as you said. I want to put nose into the wind when we do it, and a lot of speed.
Will it snap?
Full throttle. Get into it.
Oh, nice. Do a little flutter.
I like it. And this yellow looks great on this overcast day, honestly. That was cool. Let's do one of our favorite maneuvers here. The climb is nice. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Love it.
Well, this is a great little airplane. Anybody tell? I like it.
I love the UMX pits, so I'm excited that they have another biplane.
Me too. I think the pits probably is more aerobatic.
Sure.
Probably flies a little better in the air for like knife edge and stuff. But this one just has something about it, the way it looks. Love the way it looks. It's a more docile flyer, but surprisingly capable too. Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, we love our ready to fly airplanes, right?
Come in with some throttle because this wants to drop.
But with these UMXs, that was a terrible landing. That was a walk of shame. With the UMXs, if you buy a spektrum transmitter in particular, after that, all you have to do is just buy the plane, and they bind up so easy. It's so close to being ready to fly. It's insane.
That's what's nice about it, because it's one radio. Nobody wants to have 500 radios sitting around.
And once you learn how to bind up one UMX plane, you know how to bind them all. And Nate does have a video on how to bind one of our last UMX planes we had.
You really have to come in under throttle. Yeah, I did. I showed you. It was like a glider, I think. They're all the same. You push the button. It really is. You just push. You seriously just push the button. You have to come in under throttle, at least when you're flying in some wind. You're just going to stall and drop out of the sky. That was a little better, but still.
I love the takeoff on that. It looks so good.
I agree. That's my 5-minute countdown timer you guys are hearing. We'll just kind of cook it and see what happens. We do have telemetry.
Telemetry? Great.
Yeah.
Wow, you are booking it.
full throttle, just cranking it around now.
And while we're at a 1 mile long runway, this does not need much space at all. Nate's flying it in a probably less than a baseball field of room right now as he goes above my head. Woo-wee! Almost got it.
It's hard to do a loop in this in the wind, but there we go. There's a nice wing loop. The wind died down long enough to pull it off. The rolls are nice on this. The roll rate is solid. Really wishing for knife edge, but I'll try again on a... You know what? Nah. Just doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm pulsing. The motor's pulsing. Which is weird because I have telemetry on this. So I'm wondering, why isn't the telemetry kicking in? Why did it tell me I had low voltage at the beginning of this? And now it's not telling me I have low voltage. That's odd, but the motor's pulsing, so it's time to land. Duh. That's a crossword.
The scarf is still securely attached, thank goodness.
That's the most important feature of this airplane.
It's the most important feature.
Now, my flight times on the UMX pits were significantly longer than this. I don't know if it's just a lower efficiency airplane or because of colder weather.
That was like an 8-minute flight. What are you talking about?
I think the pits had like a 12-minute flight. I remember it having really long flight time. I thought that seemed like a good flight time. It's a great flight time. I'm just comparing the two because it's another UMX biplane that released, was that 2 years ago?
Did you see that? He got angry.
Okay, let's talk about this real fast. There's 2 micro servers on the bottom.
Servos, not servers.
There's 2 micro servos on the bottom of the bottom wing, and then there are push rods that connect the aileron on the top wing. So it's not 4 servos, it's 2 servos, and that's okay. It's a nice, it's worked out really well. It had a really good roll rate for the elevator. It's got a reinforced little metal bar there that is coming into a servo as well for the rudder. So they all have individually controlled servos, which is really nice. Honestly, I think it's $159. I think that's the price of this. I think it's a great airplane. I really do. If you're a fan of UMX planes, and you should be, if you're watching this video, of course you are, then as long as you like the way this looks, you're gonna love the way it looks and flies. And safe, it's very easy and docile and trainer friendly. Tail dragger, which it's easy, especially on this airplane. There were no challenges. It didn't pull hard one way. I'm sure you could hand launch this extremely easily if you weren't me. And it's a good airplane, and you got the scarf. I mean, what more is there to ask for? It's a really, really nice airplane. I think it absolutely belongs in your collection. These, by the way, these little wing support cables, they're there just for looks. They're pretty loose, so, but that's still cool that they included them because they didn't need to include them. Now, even though I was extremely confident on this flight, getting this in the air, because it's UMX. UMX probably has some of the most extremely high confidence setting bar to know that you can just pull this out, bind it up, and go fly. And because it's so easy to get ready and get in the air and accessible to everybody, and sometimes a little bit misleading, sometimes easy can be misleading, I would highly recommend that you fly with the Academy of Model Aeronautics. That's the AMA. It's an insurance program for those of us that fly RCs, and as long as you're flying and abiding by their rules and guidelines, most people slow to learn this but are still learning it. You do not have to fly at an AMA sanctioned location. You can fly at a park or a baseball field or whatever, as long as you have not been given permission to fly there and are flying by AMA's rules and guidelines, not over people's heads, as a great example. You're okay, you're AMA insured. So a nice thing about this is if you ever have questions, you can pick up the phone and call them and ask. I just strongly encourage you to do this because it seems like daily now I see people doing absolutely idiotic things with their RCs, flying over people's houses, posting that on YouTube. You shouldn't be doing this. This is why there's more involvement with government affairs in our country and other countries, because stupid people are leading by poor examples. You are allowed to fly, for example, at a full-scale airport and runway with permission, following the right rules and guidelines, proper communication for the airplane, etc. And you would think this would be, in some people's eyes, more dangerous than just flying over people's houses, but you should not be flying over people's houses because you never know what could happen with your airplane, and that could just fall out of the sky and fly through a window, or you just never know. So I highly encourage you guys fly with the Academy of Model Aeronautics, linked in the description box below. I think this is a great airplane, you guys. It looks amazing, it flies amazing, it's easy to bind up, it's easy to pair to your radio, and it's not even all that expensive really in the grand scheme of RC airplanes now for a high quality airplane. And with any luck, yours will come not in a white box, and it'll have some pretty box art too, so you can keep it in your box, a nice display too, which I really like doing. Well, as we always say in our videos, we'll have this linked in the description box below, and using that link does help to support our channel and our family at no extra cost to you. So please, if you're going to consider buying this or anything else on the website, click that link and pull it up that way. Vitally important that I say thank you to God for today, because I wasn't sure if we would get out in front of the camera today with this unpredictable weather we've been having lately. So I want to say a massive thanks to God for giving us the time and the opportunity to share this experience with you guys. And speaking of you guys, I'd like to say a huge thanks to our Patreon supporters, because without your amazing direct support, we couldn't do the videos, and especially as often as we do them. So a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you love small, easy to fly airplanes, we'll have a hand-picked video popping up right about now just for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.